I'm sure you'd look great too. Maybe you were being overly critical of yourself.
Okay, we're live, you guys. You guys are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is the Boy and Girl Thing show, and I am with my good friend Dr. Christopher Salute. I am Cece Shatz. And so, Christopher, you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share the show with a bunch of other folks. My name is Dr. Christopher Sloot. I am a certified life and relationship coach. So glad to be on the WGSN network. So glad to be on the Going Bold network. And today we're going to talk a bit about, once I'm done sharing the show, talk a bit about relationship rules. What are your relationship rules when you are starting a relationship versus when you're in a relationship for a long period of time?
Oh, I thought we were doing vacation.
What did I say? Oh, really? I'm so sorry. I can't. I'm in the middle of sharing and I can't speak. Vacation rules.
Vacation rules with your partner. And
Exactly.
those of you that don't know me, I am Cece Shatz, the Doyenne of relationships, and I am a divorce, dating, and a life coach, and it's really great to be here. We have just so you know, we have the Going Bold network on TV. It's on the Roku channel now, the streaming. You can find us there. And then, of course, the Going Solo network, Going Solo TV, and the WGSN radio. So we're all over the place. So if you want to listen to us, we hope that you do. And this show is live, so you can make any comments live that you want. Join us here on the platform. We would love to have you.
Absolutely. And I'm sharing it to a bunch of my people. So
Yeah.
do
So
that as
hang tight
well.
because he is sharing it. But let's just kind of talk a little bit about vacation rules. Now, I was doing a little bit of research and just a tiny bit, and I just recently came back from a vacation with my boyfriend, and so it was a little bit of first time I've done that before. so we're going to talk a little bit about that, about vacation, going on vacation with your partner. So do you think, Christopher, are there any rules to such a thing? Like how long should you be in a relationship before you start thinking about going on vacation?
It's a really good question actually because, and I'll tell you why I kind of thought about this concept is that there are a lot of folks that are going on vacation now over the summer,
Hmm.
and they may be new to a relationship or they may be whatever. And I actually read this rule that said the 222 rule could be the key to keeping romance alive. Do you know this rule?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of it.
So it says every 2 weeks go out for the evening, every 2 months go out for a weekend, and then every 2 years go out for a week. So I kind of think that's not a bad idea to say, okay, so we've been together for 2 weeks, let's go out for another evening. We've been together for 2 months, let's try for a weekend, and we've been together for 2 years, let's start for a vacation, or maybe a year. Um, but I don't. I get concerned when people go on vacation too soon. Although maybe it's a good way to to figure out if you're a good couple, if you know what I mean, if you go on vacation and you try to figure out if that's the right fit.
Yeah, I think that's too long, waiting 2 years to go on a
Yeah,
vacation. I personally and wait, what's this? Like, it was like 2 weeks going out on a date every 2 weeks. Why do you want to? If you really are into them, why is it every 2 weeks? I mean, I think I don't really like this rule. So my opinion is throw it out. Don't listen to that
well,
rule.
I think that's the minimum, right? I think what they're trying to say is when you've been together for
Well,
some
that's not
time.
what it says.
Yeah, yeah, when you've been together for some time. But
Yeah.
it's interesting. So this situation came about. I was kind of thinking about it the other day, and I was thinking about when the right time to go on vacation is. And I was dating somebody for I don't know. We were together for about 6 months, and there were actually so many issues with our kind of vacation that it helped me to understand this may not be the right person for me. And if you're on Instagram Live, we welcome your comments as well. So I'll tell you the story about how I think this particular vacation kind of helped me realize that this relationship was not for me. I was dating this person for about 6 months, and I said to them, I was very explicit because I unfortunately, this person, and don't forget, I always use amalgamous folks. I tend to combine several stories. So don't think I'm telling a story like about you, right? Okay, Megan, okay, Nikki, okay, rough, a poor queen. So basically what happened was, I said to this person, I said, hey, I want to go on this weekend-long cruise with a friend of mine and her husband. And I said, would you go on this cruise with me? And I said, let me explain to you what the finances would look like. Because we were only together for about 6 months. And the first couple of months, they were not working. So I really wound up spending a lot of money on dates. And that's fine. That's okay, Right. So I said, let me explain to you what I think the finances should be. And before you agree to this, let me know what you're thinking. I said, I think, we can split the cruise and we can split the cruise 50-50. And then if there's anything like, after that, like if there's a nice dinner or whatever, I'd be happy to treat you, drinks, that kind of stuff. But if you can just get yourself to the cruise and pay for the cruise 50-50, then I'll do the rest. And I don't know if that was the right thing or the wrong thing, but that's how I said it. And let me tell you what happened. So maybe 3 or 4 weeks before the cruise is going on, she did book her flight, but she rubs me on the shoulder and she goes, I can't believe my guy is taking me on a cruise. And I go, what? Like, what do you mean your guy's taking you on a cruise? Like, basically implying that I'm paying for the cruise. So what do I do at that point? I pay for the cruise. And she doesn't pay for anything on the cruise at all. No drinks, nothing like that. I want to pay for the whole thing. And it really told me a lot about no matter what I say to this person.
Afford it. You knew she wasn't.
Well, then don't agree to the cruise, though, right? I said if you agree to the cruise,
right.
then
She should have been straight up with you and said, "Listen, I can't really afford it."
Yeah.
I will share with you the guy I was dating. I mean, really, at the very beginning, he offered to take me. He was going on a cruise.
I remember you told me.
And then he said to me, "Well, will you go with me?" And I said, "Hey, I can't afford it. I mean, I wouldn't be able to afford it.
Right. You couldn't afford it.
I will pay for it. I will pay for all of it if you'll go on the cruise with me." I tell you what, I really thought, what an awesome guy is he? I mean, What a terrific guy. So I mean, right there, I mean, he got 100 points, right? I mean, it was really into it, and really, what we did do, he did pay for it, but I was very cautious about making sure he didn't buy the drinks package or anything like that. So I was very good about trying to keep the expenses down, and then I did pay for some of the excursions, which were very, very cheap. So I know that he would have probably liked maybe a better excursion.
Yeah.
But he was okay with it because he knew I couldn't afford much.
And look, you bring up a couple of great points that I want to touch on. I'm not being a tyrant. I didn't say, hey, go on this cruise and then I asked for money, right? I said, if you're willing to go on this cruise with me, this is how and I've done the other way too, where I've said, hey, I'd like to treat you to a vacation. When I was engaged to who, to the celebrity, whatever she thought she was, I took her on a cruise, and because cruising was kind of my thing. Maybe I should change up my MO a little bit. And I bought the whole thing, and I paid for the drinks, and I paid for the food, and I paid for everything. She didn't have a lot of money, and she ran up the bill. It is what it is. We figured it out. And the funny thing, at the end of the cruise, they swiped your credit card. Now I had other credit cards on me, but that one specifically had a $3,000 limit on it. I had a $10,000 in my pocket. And we got held up. We couldn't leave the boat because I had to go give him another credit card. And she goes, "Oh, this is so embarrassing." I said, "So embarrassing. You drank the whole day. You drank the whole week."
You have to buy the drinks package if you're going to drink a lot.
Yeah. So whatever. So aside from finances, right? What are some other things that can go wrong when you start vacation? Let's
just touch on a couple of these because we love these comments.
Oh, yeah, comments. Okay.
Vacationing with your partner is a moment to know each other, to get to know each other. I totally agree with that. Totally.
100%. So if you're
don't expect my partner to pay everything, I would like to go. I would like to go. Yeah. So that's very good. And then go Dutch.
Go Dutch.
So I think here's the thing. It's when you're building a relationship, it's all about communication, right? And so if one party can't afford it, you need to be just straight up and say, "Listen, I can't afford this." But you also have to be respectful of your party, of your partner. You can't just go out and just run up the tab at the bar. And if you don't have the money to pay for it or contribute to it, you at least have to be decent enough to not do something like that. So, so you do get to know someone. So some of the other things is, I think at the beginning for us, I really started to know a little bit more about him. Like, I never asked if he was a morning person or an evening person.
Morning and evening is important.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know if he gambled or didn't gamble.
Right.
And so what I found is that he did like to gamble. So he would stay out late and
And yeah,
gamble. And I couldn't stand it because the smoke was so bad in
right.
there. So I
Where were
couldn't.
you, where were you?
We were on a Royal
You were on a
cruise.
cruise. Okay.
Yeah. But I guess there's different sections, and where he was, it was smoking. I couldn't stand
Yeah,
this.
the casinos you can smoke in any no matter where you are.
Oh,
You
it
know.
was terrible. So I said, listen, I can't take this. Plus, I was standing up all the time, and my feet were killing me. So I said, I'm just going to go in. So what I found is that he did his thing, and I just went to bed early.
Yeah.
I just went read a book and went to bed early, and then. I started thinking about that and I thought, I could get angry over that, right? Because he's not really spending the time with me. But then I thought, well, why should I? Because he likes doing this. I may not like doing it. What,
No. Yeah.
no,
Nope.
no
Don't get
big thing.
resentful.
And so it actually worked out fine. We didn't have any problem with that at all.
So
So we
yeah,
got along beautifully on the cruise.
I want to touch on that. I want to answer this question. Then I'm probably gonna exit the Instagram live, but you can catch the show on my Shoreby. I did a very poor job of promoting today. A little bit personally about me is I don't have an air conditioning unit that actually works in my Vegas home. I'm trying to get it. I just moved in and I just see my cupboards are bare. I'm getting my cupboards redone. So I raced home. I was at a coffee shop getting work done. But so Crystal on Instagram has a great comment. She says, I think she was, if she was not, I'm trying to decode because I think you had a typo and it's fine. I think if she was not going to pay her part, she shouldn't have said yes for real. She should be embarrassed of her behavior. Yeah, I agree. I come from just a place where you don't say yes unless you can pay, right?
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
If let's say I had a lot of money, right, and
Yeah.
I was asking him to go, and he didn't have money for it,
Right.
I wouldn't think anything different. The thing is, you're with somebody because you want to be with them.
Well,
And
the
so
point
whether
is,
you're on vacation or whether you're not, you're learning about that person. And so it's really about talking about it. I was
right.
very clear that I couldn't afford it. If he had a problem with it, then
I
I
don't think she
shouldn't
means
go
you.
on.
I think she means the person I was talking about. Because
Well, I think the person you were talking about was very selfish and self-centered, right?
yeah,
She
quite
ran
a
up
bit.
the bill and didn't even think twice about
Yeah.
whether you could afford it or not afford it. I mean, she didn't get to know you long enough to know whether that
Right.
was going to be okay or not. And then if she wanted another drink, she could have just asked. I know the whole time he kept saying to me on the cruise, he kept saying, "Do you want a drink? Do you want another drink? Do you want?" And
Yeah.
number one, I didn't want to run up the bill, right?
Right.
And the other thing is, I didn't want to get hammered because I didn't want him to, I didn't want to do something where I thought, okay, you're going to be stupid.
And
And then you're
yeah.
on the cruise with him and he's going to think you're just.
And I've heard stories like that too. I have friends who have taken dates, like they're in a relationship, they go on vacation, and after this we're going to cut Instagram. So just so you know, you can join on my Shoreby or just go right on YouTube and type in WGSN vacation rules and you'll see us. But I have friends. They go on a weekend away with somebody and they learn pretty quickly that this may not be the person. Maybe they drink too much. Now look. You may drink a lot and your partner may drink a lot and that's what you do and that's great and go ahead, go get hammered and that's fun, right? For example, so I talk about my addictions very often. My addiction is food. If you're not down to binge at the buffet with me and then take a nap, we're not going to be compatible. But I'm not going to drink a lot in the evenings. And to be quite honest, if you drink a lot, there are look, I may say, hey, I'll take you home or whatever. But if it's an every night thing on vacation, I can't be around it. It's not that I wasn't an alcoholic, I wasn't a drinking addict, but there's a level of stupidity. You get stupid when you get drunk. I get stupid too when I get drunk. And so I can't, if you're getting stupid once in a while, it's fine. I'll take you home, we'll laugh about it, whatever. But if it's every night on vacation, you're going to learn pretty quick that you're not a compatible couple,
Yeah, and I'm not one to do that either, hang out at the bar and get smashed. But it was nice to have a little drink here and there and whatever. We had a really good time. I mean, I learned a lot about him. And the biggest thing I learned was a great deal of patience. He had a lot of patience with me. And so, because you're stuck in this little bitty room, right? And I'm a girl, right? So I bring a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I found that he brings a lot of stuff.
And right.
So here we got a lot of stuff in a tiny little room.
Yep, I get that.
Half of it, but it was fun. I mean, I really had a good time, and so Oh, my Alexa's talking to me. But so anyhow, so I learned a lot about him. Then we recently went on another vacation. Oh, she's telling me about my calendar. Then we went on another vacation where we drove to my son's house and we were trapped in the car for 15 hours straight.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I'll say this
that
though.
will really be trying.
I do though. I like a road trip with my partner though. I think we talked a lot about cruises because you're from Florida and I just love cruising. I used to cruise all the time, right? We talked a lot about cruising, and I'm gonna turn off my fan because I think I'm okay. But you want to learn something about somebody? Go on a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Go on a road trip with them. You're going to learn a lot about. You mentioned are you a daytime person or a nighttime person? That's important for sure, especially when you're on a cruise or an all-inclusive, because there's certain activities that are really nighttime activities, right? And there's certain activities that are daytime. So one of my best friends that I used to cruise with, her name is Marielle. She was a morning person. Now I'm a morning person, but I wasn't always. So at night, I would stay out. We weren't together. We were just best friends. So at night, I would go out and I would maybe go hit the bar or whatever. And I would she loved a cheese platter. She loved cheese platters. And, she barely ate, this girl. So if she liked the cheese platter, I'm going to bring her a cheese platter. So I brought her a cheese platter every night when I came back from the restaurant, from the bar. And then in the morning, she would go to the gym way earlier than I did, and she'd bring me back a plate of bacon. And it was just a nice thing, And I've had that. You mentioned, your guy likes to gamble and you don't like to gamble, but those are communication things you want to have. Like I unfortunately, whatever. I tend to date long distance because I tend to. Dating apps for me just get boring, so I date off of I find networking or social networking or just people through people, and so a lot of times when I date, I'm spending a weekend with you, right? It's not just going out on a date. We're going to spend a weekend, and one of the best things that you can do for me when we're having a weekend together is to give me some time alone, because I'm addicted to work. I'm addicted to technology. So, the best thing a partner can do for me. So the person that I'm currently seeing. And I'm ethically non-monogamous, so I see her and she sees other folks and I see other folks, and that's great. But one of the best things she does for me is she says, "Hey, do you need an hour or so? Because I could sure use an hour to prep to go out or to myself to read. If you need an hour to walk Joker, catch up with other people, go do that." And that's a great thing. Not everyone wants to do that on vacation. They want to be.
Yeah, you want to be together. Yeah, we do have a couple more.
You have some questions?
Jesse says, in my opinion, for new couples, you should start with a small trip to see if you're compatible. That's great.
Yes.
That's great advice. Here we go. Vacationing with a partner allows you to open up. We are adults. Money should not be a taboo subject. Yeah. Absolutely.
You mind if I read these out loud and answer each one?
Yeah, do.
Yeah, so after you read them. So the first one, in my opinion, because we've got TikTok folks, I want to make sure they can hear us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. They can't hear you because if you're just hearing on TikTok, or it'll be the 10th time I say it on YouTube, my air conditioner's not working. I've got 5 window units, one split unit, 6 fans, and a partridge in a pear tree trying to keep me from sweating. So you may not be able to hear me, and I don't have my mics. I haven't set up my house yet because I just moved. So Jesse says, in my opinion, for new couples, you should start with a small trip. I think a small trip like a weekend is probably good. 2 nights overnight. What do you think, Cece?
Yeah, I think a little weekend away.
Is
a great thing.
Yeah. And then Shariva says, vacationing with a partner should allow you to open up. We are adults. Money should not be a taboo subject. And then the next one she says is, I want to go on vacation with someone before I get into a relationship with you. I need to see you free without responsibility of work and day-to-day life. So Shariva, that could be a reason we wouldn't work, because even when I'm on vacation, I'm brainstorming, I'm writing, I'm doing whatever I need to do. It's terrible. I really do need to learn to vacation properly. But you may see that on vacation and go, I can't be with this man. He won't put his phone down to stop working for a day. I always want to check in. But it is important, I think, to see how someone vacations, or to see how they spend a weekend, because it's different when, let's say, Cece, you and I are dating, right? And you and I are dating, and we hang out on a Sunday night, and you stay the night because we have a few drinks, right? Now, you're going to leave in the morning because you have work in the morning. Or let's say you're retired and I'm not. I'm going to kind of probably kick you out because I have to go to work, right? But it's much different when we're spending a weekend in Tahoe and there's nobody to kick you out, and you see when does this guy brush his teeth? When does he take a shower? When does he, what kind of food does he eat? That kind of stuff.
Well, that's true. As you're dating, a lot of those issues come up, hygiene and are you
Hygiene for sure.
messy? I tend to be a little bit of a neat freak. So,
Mhm.
I'm always picking up and straightening up and
Yeah.
things like that. So, I mean, yeah. So you really truly get to know someone. And this is, I wanted to make sure everyone had this advice before we close the show, which we've got a little bit more time. But I feel like we should experience all seasons with a partner,
All
and that
seasons,
is
like
all
literal seasons.
literally. It's the seasons, but it's also all the holidays, all of the beginning stuff with dating, all the middle stuff with dating, the vacationing. You need to go on a vacation with someone,
Sure.
spend that time with them. So really, really share the experiences to see if this is truly someone that you could really continue to build a life with.
Well,
And
and
if you
yeah,
find you can't, then that's okay. You need to be adult about it, not hurt the other person's feelings, and move on. But as you continue to, share these experiences together, hopefully not all of it's going to be wonderful. There's still going to be areas of, like, oh geez, but that's part of being a person, right? We've got to make concessions for people and respect the way they are. But we start to understand, do we really want to build a solid life with them?
well, and to Shariva's point, and to your point, I don't think it's just vacationing, right? Like, I want to see how you react on the holidays. How do you spend time with your family? You know, this sounds morbid, but how do you react when you're grieving, when someone passes? I've had folks that say this is the person for me, and then a year into the relationship, somebody loses their grandmother. God forbid, right? You lose your grandmother, and their partner shuts down for a month
Mhm.
because that's just how they cope. Now, that could be how they cope, and that you're welcome to cope how you want to cope. But I'll tell you right now, if my partner shut down on me for an entire month because they lost their grandmother, I couldn't handle that. Because me as a nurturer and as a service dominant person, I want to be there for my partner, and I would feel helpless in that month, and I wouldn't know if we were okay without that communication. Now, some people could be okay, right? I don't know who that is because I'm an over communicator, but I think whether it's vacationing or not, experiencing these things needs to happen before you say that's the person for me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that, we want a partner that we can lean on, that we feel secure enough to lean on. I know for me, I'm not, I'm a very emotional person,
Right.
but I'm not a big crier.
You're not a crier.
I don't like people to see me cry. So I'm
Okay.
like a closet crier, right? When I cry, I do it by
Closet crier.
myself, or I go somewhere where people aren't around or whatever like that. So I'm not a big person to share that with someone.
That's fair.
To me, I always feel like it's a bit of a weakness, right? And so when you start letting your guard down and you let your partner see that side of you and start to understand you and get how you are about things. And I think, like, on vacation's a good time because there's moments where you're going to be happy, there's moments where you're going to be
Oh,
maybe a little bit scared about doing something
frustrated,
you've never done
scared.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's all of these different elements, and for me to go on a cruise with someone,
Yeah.
that was a true trusting thing for me. I was
Sure.
really laying it down, saying, you know what, I'm going to trust you in my life to take
Yeah.
me somewhere, that I'm
Yeah.
out and about.
Uh, so it's funny. So I went on a cruise with my ex-wife, and obviously we lasted. It was as long as a relationship can last. Hey Heidi, how are you? Feel free to comment on TikTok as well. Um, it was a great marriage. She's a great person. Wasn't for me, wasn't for her, and that's fine. But we went on a cruise. One of our first. I mean, we went on a cruise in college, and I like being around the water, but certain elements of the water petrify me, scare the heck out of me. I've lived through. My house was flooded. The first house I bought after college. So I truly respect and am fearful of the water. And we were on a boat. You get off the cruise. I don't know if you ever did one of these. I remember it was St. Patrick's Day. Get off the cruise, and then they put you on another small boat, a ferry, to another part of this island all you can drink punch and beer and all this stuff, and you're playing volleyball and you're getting hammered, and then you go back on the boat and you drink some more. And on the way to the island, we're on this double-decker boat, and I'm clutching my seat because this thing's rocking, And she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You're not okay. I'm like, "You're not okay?" I was like, "You're okay with this?" Because I'm not, And we learned in that moment, she grew up on a boat. Her family fished and all that kind of stuff. My family we didn't do that kind of like outdoor stuff. Like, you know what I mean? When we vacationed, we did like Disney or, whatever. And so she learned if she's going to go fishing on a boat or if she's going to go and do boat activities, I'm not the guy. And so she had to make a decision. Is this the guy I want to spend my life with? Because I truly love the water. I'll go to the beach. I'll have a beer, but I'm not going to be on the boat. You just have to think about those things.
Well, she could do those things without you.
And that's okay. And that's what you have to make the decision on. Do I do this without this man? And this is an important part of my life. So, for example, you mentioned morning versus night, right? So when you're on vacation, you may say, I'm a morning person, you're a night person. And that's okay. We're not trying to change anybody. But you need to decide as the partner, this person's a morning person. Changing whether you're a morning or a nighttime person is not easy, right? I did it about 2 years ago, and I love it. I love being a morning person now, but no person was going to do that. I had to do that. So you need to decide when you learn that on vacation. This man that you went out with, for example, he was an evening person. You were a morning person. You get to decide, is this person still for me, even though they're a night person? That's okay, but vacationing will tell you that.
Yeah. We have another
question?
Comment here, yeah. You want to read it?
Yeah, I'm just saying goodbye to TikTok because we hit our 10 minutes a while ago. But bye everyone on TikTok. Can't give it all away for free. You got to come on YouTube and talk to us. All right, cool. So Shariva says recent life events have changed the way I move. I value time with people more than ever. You got to turn off your phone and focus on us if I'm devoting time to be with you. And that's cool. And there are other folks. I've been slow motion grieving for months. I agree. If you can handle me when I'm hurting, I'm assuming when you say if you can't handle me when I'm hurting, then we won't work. So two questions. So two things here, right? So you got to turn off your phone when you're with, and that's fine. And that's how some people are. Some folks would rather spend 6 hours with you, but check your phone, sit on our phone,
Now, when I was on the cruise, I didn't take the internet package.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I didn't even, I said to myself, okay, if I can't live my life a few days without the phone, without the internet, I just
sure.
So that's what I did, and it was a struggle. I mean, my mindset was always there, but I lived through it, and I found that I can actually go 7 days without being on the internet.
Okay, and that's great. I love that.
Now, I think this is an important issue about the grieving, because I really do feel like everybody grieves at their own pace, right? And so some can recover much quicker than others. And so, if you have a partner and you're going through that and you're experiencing that kind of hurt, how your partner handles it and allows you to take the time that you need to grieve, that's important. But we have to also remember that we have a life to live. And if we're grieving, generally speaking, those that we're grieving for or about would not want us to put our lives on hold, would not want us to, they would want us to, of course, remember them and maybe savor the wonderful moments that we had together, but not to the extent where you start losing yourself within the grieving, So that's an issue. If you find that you are, taking so long to get out of the depths of hurt, then you need to get some assistance with that. Talk to a coach, talk to a therapist, talk to someone that will help move you through that, because you need that help. It truly is. It's an experience that's serious.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it's important. Look, nobody said you grieve how you want to grieve, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. At the same time, if you grieve differently than I do or that I can handle, then we're not a match, right? So, for example, when we're getting off topic, we could have a whole other conversation about this.
Yeah, we should have another conversation about this. I don't agree with that. I mean, I think that if you love somebody, you're going to love them where they're at. And if they're experiencing a tremendous loss like that, you
Yeah.
can't say, well, if you don't grieve like I do, hey, man, that
Like,
they're not,
yeah,
they may not, because they don't know, you don't know the depths of their love for that person, or maybe
100%.
the
But
circumstances of the death, or there can
yeah,
be a lot of elements to be in that. So, I mean, I
yeah,
think we need to
yeah,
table that conversation, maybe
sure.
one we can have. But
Yeah,
I think that if you're struggling with grief, if you're struggling with a loss, you need to seek help. You need to seek help with that.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's talk about like different personalities when we're doing vacationing. One thing I found is that he doesn't like the hot tub. And I was really disappointed in that. It's
so
like,
you had the hot
I'm
tub by
not
yourself.
getting in a hot tub. You can get diseases in a hot tub. I'm thinking like, oh man,
No, the
that's a
water kills it all. It's
romantic
hot.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
want to miss that.
but it's true. Everyone vacations differently. So, for example, we keep using this cruise example because I think we both like the cruise. But
Yeah.
whatever vacation I'm typically on, I've got two modes depending on where I'm at in life. If I'm cruising, I'm trying to maximize my time on the cruise. So I want to do a cupcake class and a cooking class, and I want to do the belly flop contest. I want to do all the goods. If we're doing maybe a weekend in LA or somewhere in Arizona, I may just, honestly, I took a staycation the other day, and because my house is so hot, right, I just wanted to enjoy the air conditioning. So I put on the movie channel, I ordered some food, and I relaxed. And the person that I was with, I was like, look, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm not really exciting, but this is really fun for me. Like I'm gonna enjoy the cold air. I'll sit on the air conditioner.
Yeah,
So,
I remember one time my ex-husband and I, we went on a vacation. We lived in Michigan at the time. There was snowing and all that stuff. And we went on vacation. They had an inside heated pool. So we went away for the weekend just so we could swim in the pool.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and
So
that's
yeah.
okay, right? You got to think about, like, so even and vacation is going to be different when you're with your partner, when like you're with your boys or your girls, right? So I have a crew that I go to. We haven't gone in a minute. I need to go this year. We usually go to Disney every year, and we do the Food and Wine Festival, right? And we've got a system. There's 4 of us, and each person we do the around the world, and each person. Now I don't drink anymore, but the last time we did it, you buy a drink and you buy food, and we cut it into 4, so we all share it, and then the next person goes, and the next person goes. Now, if everyone's not okay with that, then that's going to ruin the vacation, right? Same thing with, when you're going out with your partner. You may want to, like, for example, when I go out to dinner, especially on vacation, I don't want to go to an Applebee's or to an Outback or anywhere that I can go at home. I want to go to a local place that I can't get at home. And I typically want to try, like, my favorite thing is, hey, let's get a bunch of little things and we'll split them all. Now, my partner may say, I'm a really finicky eater. Let's just go to, the Outback because I know they're gonna be good. So these are things that you need to discuss, and what's going to be okay. Do we go to 2 different restaurants, or go to the Outback because they won't eat, that kind of stuff? And does it ruin my sense of vacation? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we discussed that too, again, on the cruise, where you could go and do the extra dinners
Right.
other places and you pay extra for that. And I said, I thought it was so bad. He was paying for everything. And I said, well, I'm happy with the food on the ship. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just happy somebody cooks for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm so easy. I'm really, truly an easygoing kind of person. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the idea that there were certain things he liked, like he likes to do karaoke. And so we did that like almost every night.
Okay.
And I loved it that he sang and he dedicated songs to me, and it was very
Aw,
romantic, and he was very,
that's
very sweet with it,
adorable.
but he enjoyed it, and so it was truly, I mean, there were a little bit of questionable things that I thought, oh, I don't know about this, but
Yeah.
I just said, what the heck, just go with it and
Well,
don't worry about it.
Well, but you learn a lot, right? So let's say, for example, you're let's take it off the cruise, because I feel like we should have labeled this thing going on a cruise with your partner.
Really.
So you're on
Yeah, but we only dated for like a couple weeks before we went on the cruise.
right before you went on it. Yeah, yeah,
It was like I really knew nothing about this man other than
right,
I knew he's a retired police officer, so I
right.
knew that he was, a pretty honorable guy, but other than that, I didn't really know that much about him.
Yeah.
So
So let's say you're on vacation with this person wherever you are, and let's say it's a resort, and you go out to dinner, and the they encourage gratuity, and at the end of dinner, he says, "No, you know what? They get paid. I'm not gonna tip them." Right? That's gonna tell you a lot
mhm.
about this person that you may not have. When you're tipping at home, a lot of people are generous because they know they're going to go to that restaurant again. Some people tip very little on vacation, and it says a lot about them because it's
Oh
not.
yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's not about leaving the tip and making that person feel good and paying for their service. It's about leaving the tip because I go here often. And so you learn that on vacation. There's all sorts of stuff. Or you may be on vacation and you're on the beach, right? How often do you get to go on the beach? So you're on the beach and the person's eating a candy bar, and he takes the candy bar wrapper, or she, and throws the candy bar wrapper on the sand and says, "Oh, it'll get swept away, no big deal." That tells you a lot about how that person thinks about life, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I remember one time he was describing to this younger couple, because we're an older couple, right?
Sure.
And so he described, and they thought we were been together for a long time.
Did they?
And so he is trying to describe to them our relationship, and how he described it. I won't say exactly what he said, but it was an unsavory response.
What did he?
And
What? Did,
I can't tell you. I'm not going to tell you because you guys will make judgment. But I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that.
was
And I
he
was
joking?
hurt over that. And that could have ruined the complete vacation.
Yeah. Was
You
he
know,
joking or?
no, he was serious, but he didn't realize how bad it sounded when he said it.
Interesting.
That's the whole thing, when something comes out of your mouth, it's out of your mouth, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even she was like, but anyhow,
Right.
and then he said, I didn't really mean it like that. And I was like, and so, he backtracked and apologized and all that kind of thing. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
but I was like, whoa, check this out.
Yeah.
Then I start questioning whether, is he the right guy,
Right,
to
right.
say something like this,
Now,
because
how long were you all together?
we were only together a few weeks.
No, no. How long were you all together in general?
Just a few. When we went on vacation, it was just a few weeks.
No, but how long did it last total?
What, the
The relationship.
vacation?
No, the relationship.
Well, no, we lasted quite a while, and then I got COVID, and then I got
Okay.
sick, and then we
So,
ended up.
so he was the right guy for a bit. You got over
Well,
that.
no, we're back together now.
Oh, that's the same guy.
Yeah. We kind
Ah.
of broke up a little bit there because I was sick, and there was a little bit of I think a communication problem,
Okay.
and so we broke up for maybe, I don't think quite a month, a few weeks, yeah.
Okay.
And he started dating. He's a good looking guy. He started dating right away, but it's no one like me.
Right. Right. Well, and you've mentioned this a couple times too. When you're a little bit older, you've
Yeah.
seen all the BS. You get moving. You get moving.
Yeah. But the whole thing is that when you're on vacation, like if you're at the beginning, it's the first time you're on vacation, you can't take, like I could have taken that type of, what he said there to heart, and it could have ruined our whole vacation. It could have
Sure.
ruined everything and into the relationship. But, I just kind of put that in the pocket and then talked to him about it later, and, and he apologized and said didn't really mean the way it sounded, and all that kind of thing. So I truly think that what we have to understand, that when we're on vacation, it's still, we cannot drop, even though we're having fun, we're drinking, we're doing whatever, we can't drop the communication part, right? We still have to honor, respect each other, and still have that open um, you know communication, to be able to, when something arises, we've got to be able to to talk about it. And I'm sure there's times when I get like a little hyper, and I get a little bugged about stuff, because I get a little
Yeah.
bit, like, oh, that kind of thing.
Well,
And
and
yeah,
that's
it's
and
good
that's
to
why we asked
be.
the question, though. The question is not, do you go on vacation, because that you should, if you want to get to know each other. The question is when. And let me explain why. And
Okay.
and I know we want to probably close soon, get ready for the
Yeah,
next
and I
show.
wouldn't do 2 weeks. I would
No.
go a little longer in a relationship.
Yeah, yeah. But here's why. Here's the thing. Let's say this man that and now you're dating and everything's great. Let's say you went away with him now, and now that you've gotten to know him, and he said the unsavory thing that he said back then, you may, I'm just going to use a general, maybe not you, but in general, you may know me, for example, I say things sometimes and then I immediately regret it because it just was the wrong thing to say. So you may know that this person had the right intention or knew what they meant to say and give them a little bit more grace. But at that point, it may have hit you in the gut a little bit, right? Or, we're on vacation, for example, and let's say a great example. My stomach tends to hurt when I overeat, and I tend to overeat on vacation. If we were only together for a little bit and we go on vacation and I say, Cece, I really don't want to be physical or intimate tonight. My stomach really hurts. You may think that that's a cop-out and I don't find you attractive. But if you get to know me, you'll know after a year, right, or 6 months, that that's really a thing for me, right? So that's why I think there's a sweet spot in when you should go on vacation, because otherwise you can learn things too quickly before you're ready to learn them.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And you're not giving the other party grace, as you're moving through and building the relationship. When you're with someone for a while, you get to know them, whether to take it seriously or not, or whatever. So I don't think it's a good idea. The other thing is it's also the money part of it, because
that's a big conversation.
It's a true commitment to someone. If you're going to go out and spend, unless you've got money to burn, to spend money on them for a vacation, and then maybe they're not grateful, or they're not showing that, or whatever, it can really hurt you. So I just think that maybe I read that, in the Google, it said 7 months.
On the Google.
Right? But I think you should do it in the first year. I really do feel the first year that you're together, you need to do all the seasons, do all the holidays, all the different things that it takes. Do a short vacation if you can't do a long one. Do different things to really kind of dig deep within your relationship, so to see if this person is truly someone that you want to build something everlasting with. And and you'll, I think, explore and find out new things about them. But a vacation is a great way to get to know someone, a real one-on-one, in hopefully a very good and happy environment.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think in closing, Shariva had one more comment to make.
Yep.
Do you want to put it up?
I don't think we did this one, did we? Oh, yeah, we did that one.
No, we did that one. I love to be in the water swimming, whatever keeps me in the sun, half naked and hydrated. Great.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm a little bit less secure with my dad bod, so I don't like to be as half naked, but I'll swim for sure.
But just remember, keep your head underneath and keep it above the water. Everything else you can't see.
Yeah, exactly. So on that note, I think what we learned today, because we want to get ready for our next show. Our next show is going to be, does faith make you a better lover and a better partner? And I want to talk about that in the next show. But tonight, I think we learned, Cece, that everything depends on communication, right? Everything that you do, whether it's vacation or whatever, finances, it's really all about communication. And I think that we choose who we get to bring into our weird little space, right? And we are weirdos. Everybody's got something weird about them, right? The way you brush your teeth, the way you do your hair, the way you unpack. Some people like to leave everything in the suitcase and put it on the thing. Some people like to put it in the drawers, and that's okay, right? But I think what you need is a bond that can outlast learning those weird things, because learning those weird things too soon just may turn you off. But when you get to know someone and you love them, you love the weird stuff, and that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a vacation is an awesome place to truly fall in love.
Yeah.
And so,
absolutely.
You can just share those experiences together and start building a relationship. So let's close, because I hear that someone's already ready for the next show.
All right. Well, we'll see you in a little bit on the bar.
Bye, everyone. You guys are listening to the Boy and Girl Thing on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. I am Cece Shatz, and I have my good friend here with me,
Dr. Christopher Sloot, and this is Going Bold Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining, and thanks so much for engaging. And let's go on vacation. We'll do a show on vacation, Cece.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, bye.
Bye.